Alright, so let me put y'all right here real quick. Alright guys, so welcome back again to another video. As much as I would love to say welcome back to another adventure, well, in today's case this is not an adventurous video, but rather the video about Mexico that y'all been waiting on. Yes, so I'm gonna explain everything in detail, what went down on the trip, why I was denied and sent back to Jamaica. No, why I was denied and detained and then sent back to Jamaica. So yeah, I'm gonna explain everything, guys. I really wish the trip had worked out, because right now I should be posting the videos from Mexico, but that did not happen. Right now I'm currently in Jamaica. You know, it's been over a week now of a lot of frustration and back and forth and stuff like that, because I was experiencing a lot of stuff in Mexico. Then after I finish with Mexico, reach back into Jamaica, there's a new hurdle. So it's been a lot of back and forth and frustration and disappointment. So I'm gonna tell y'all everything about that. But for right now, I don't even know where to start. It's been so much that has happened. It's just, I don't even know what to explain, guys. But yeah, let's jump right into it from start to finish. So y'all just stay tuned. Alright, so where do I start? Let's start from the beginning. How this trip was in the how this trip was in the making. So alright, let me get comfy. Guys, if you're wondering why I'm keep looking away, I'm literally parked near a beach and I'm looking at the trees and the sea and all of that. So don't really watch that, but yeah. Alright, so beginning. Alright, so before I even started YouTube, guys, the whole reason why I started my channel is because when I first went on YouTube, I was searching for videos in Jamaica about spearfishing. There was no videos from Jamaica at that time. It was just tourists that come to Jamaica and do a look of fishing with a little rod, like a 3-minute video, stuff like that. There wasn't plenty videos, so I know that I was good at filming and stuff like that. At the time, I did not have an underwater camera. I used to put my phone in plastic bags and try to film. I started out in the river at first, and I was using my phone in plastic bags. I just tried like 2 phones doing that. So the dream was coming from way back, and that's how the whole channel started. That's where the name drive from, spearfishing Jamaica, because that's the same exact keywords that I used when I first started searching videos in Jamaica. And then recently I rebranded it to SFJ Lifestyle. I use the acronym instead of the old spearfishing Jamaica, so it's just FSJ Lifestyle now. So from way back then, when I was searching videos, nothing from Jamaica, it was just from Australia, all different kind of places. So I wanted to put Jamaica on the map, so hence why I did this channel, and it's doing really good, I should say. And thank y'all, like my long time supporters. Like, y'all know how far I'm coming from, and I just want to say a big shout out to you guys. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't reach this far. So we're not the real star of the show. But yeah, so from way back then, I was watching a lot of spearfishing videos, and I was fascinated about Mexico because I always see those guys from overseas spearfishing, like big marlins, tunas and stuff like that, and I started watching more videos from Mexico. Hence why it was a dream destination for me that I've been that I've been wanting to go on, but I could not afford to go on those trips at the time. All those years I was just living in illusion of what to expect, stuff like that, until I started traveling. Recently I started traveling like a year ago, and I'm just pretty much doing like right around the Caribbean and stuff like that. But yeah, back to Mexico now. So Mexico has been a dream trip for me, and I happened to meet a friend. His name is Alex. We've been spearfishing together for over a year now in Jamaica. He normally plans trip to Mexico. He does a lot of spearfishing there. He shoots a lot of big fish, marlin, groupers, stuff like that. So yeah, we've been friends for quite some time now, and I've always tell him that I wanted to go to Mexico. And he's like, yeah, I always plan trips there. So the first time since I meet him when he went back to Mexico, I did not get to make that trip because I had a lot of stuff going on at the time. But I told him that, I was gonna plan for this year. So last year I did not get to go out. I felt kind of sad, especially when he was sending me pictures of the big giant fish that he caught. And I was like, whoa, really excited now. So I've been saving towards this trip for over a year now. Until this year, I decided that, we're gonna plan this trip. So now the starting of the trip, we we packed our spear guns and all of that in a special thing that we used to carry them called a sport tube. We pack our spear guns, our fins, float lines, gloves, all of that stuff. We packed and then we left early the next morning because it was our flight the next morning. So I left early the next morning, go to the airport, we checked in and all of that, and was waiting for our flight. Now the flight route that we took to go to Mexico was from Jamaica to Santo Domingo, and then from Santo Domingo to Mexico City. But we had to book a separate flight with another airline from Mexico City to La Paz, which is final destination. That's where all the fishing was gonna be done and all this stuff like that. So yeah, we left on the flight from Jamaica, go to Santo Domingo. I can say the best thing about the trip was in Santo Domingo. We actually had some amazing food, guys. Like, trust me, it almost tastes similar to Jamaican style cooking. Yeah, so we had some amazing food while we were waiting on our next flight to Mexico City. So our flight arrived and we boarded the plane, and it was the longest flight of my life. It was 4 hours from Santo Domingo to Mexico City, which we had already, planned out the route and everything in the past. I actually have a video on that I'm gonna show you real quick.
We have to fly from here, Jamaica, to Dominican Republic. So our next flight is from Dominican Republic to Mexico City, and our last destination will be Los Cabos, San Jose del Cabo. So from here we will go to La Paz by road.
So yeah, so now we're on the plane heading towards Mexico City. It's 4 hour flight. I was bored out my mind. Alex, he was sleeping the entire journey there. So yeah, upon arriving in Mexico now, where everything started, we entered the airport. We joined the line to go to the immigration officer to get our passports checked, and so regular procedure. So while I was in the line, there was this guy going around checking the passports. So I was like I was one, two, three. I was like the fifth or the sixth person in the line, and he was just checking everyone else's passport, taking them, handing them back real quick. Not of a big deal. As soon as he reached to me, I handed him my passport. He opened it and he checked, and then he realized that I am Jamaican. And there's guys, as soon as he saw that I was Jamaican, I've been asked a bunch of questions, and he took my passport. I went to another agent or somebody else up at the front desk, and he was like talking to them and showing them my passport and stuff like that. Then he came back, asked me like two more questions, handed me my passport, and then I just move on. So now it was my turn to go to the immigration officer at the desk. So when I reached up there, I handed him my passport. He opened it, and then he saw that I was Jamaican, and his whole demeanor changed. And he's just been asking me a bunch of questions. Basically, from my understanding, everything that he asked me, it was kind of hard to understand because you have to back and forth with the Google Translate, and he did not understand English very well, and he was talking to me in Spanish as if I understand. Every now and then he'd do that by mistake, and then the communication wasn't really the best, but we were communicating on Google Translate, And basically, what I realized, they're trying to find out if I am going to stay in Mexico. Like, he's just been asking me questions like, um, how long I'm gonna stay there. He also needed to see my flight itinerary, and what was most important to him was seeing the return flight. And I show him all my flight details and all of that, how many days I am staying, who I'm going with, where I'm going, what I'm doing, stuff like that. And he asked me a bunch more questions, and then he took my passport and he went somewhere, I don't know where. Then he came back with my passport, and he was like, we need to have a second interrogation to make sure that what you're saying is true. And I'm like, okay, cool. But in my mind, I was like, this doesn't seem cool at all, because everyone else just go through and then I am being questioned and you know. So he took me around to a room where I wait. It was someone else. It was somebody else that came to interrogate me in that room. They were asking me the same questions over and over and over. I gave them the same answer. Being that I did not have any other intentions with Mexico, it was all good intentions. I just wanted to go there and fish like I do with all my other trips to Trinidad, St. Vincent, Bar. So he was asking me questions like, how much money do I have, to spend on the trip. He was also asking me for the intended address. I told him that all that information is inside my phone. Being that they don't really want you to use your phone inside that room. And also he was asking me for Alex ID. So when he asked me that question, I was like, why do I need to, I was like, who walks around with their friend's ID in their phone or stuff like that. So I told him that I would have to message Alex and ask him for his ID, which I did. But at the time, the message did not go through because I had some issues connecting to the internet, so I could not retrieve Alex ID in time. I could not retrieve the intended address in time to tell him. But he proceeded to ask me other questions like, what am I going to do there, what purpose of travel, stuff like that. So being that I did not provide him with those two information, I thought everything was good, or he was gonna wait until I get the information from my phone to tell him. He proceeded to leave the room. So he left the room. I was there for quite some time, probably like a little over 5 minutes. He came back, and he came back with a little, how will I say this? He came back with a whole bunch of like papers stamped together. So in my head, I was like, John, why this I know, So didn't know, and I asked him what's up. He was like, they're denying me entry into the country. So I was like, why am I being denied? I already provide all the information. Then he proceeded to show me the paper, and he was like, I did not provide all the necessary details and stuff like that. And the details were the address being one of them, and also Alex ID. I did not know if that was really necessary or anything. And I was like, I showed him my phone, and I'm like, here, it's right here. So I was there trying to explain myself for like a minute or so. He was not really interested in what I had to say. Nothing that I was saying could defend me further for him to not deny me. His excuse was, I don't have a valid reason to enter the country, and also I need what's that thing called? Invitation letter. Yes. So I was like, invitation letter, because I done some research and I did not see anything under the visa free that said you need to have an invitation letter to go to Mexico. I thought that you just bring your passport and the necessary documents like my fishing permit and stuff like that I had provided to him already too. But he was like, there's nothing you can do at this point, or he can do, because the decision has already been made. So the time he went outside the room, that's when all this decision making was happening, which I did not know about. Then he came back to tell me that I was denied. He proceeded to hand me the papers and telling me to sign them. And I was like, being that the papers are in Spanish, I don't understand Spanish so well, especially to read it. Or so I was like, I don't understand. I don't know what I'm signing for. So after the back and forth, he proceeded to go on his phone, and he talk in Spanish and he translate to English, and he basically each page he tells me what I'm signing for. It's basically just saying that you receive good treatment, and you know you're just signing to get food and stuff like that. So I proceeded to sign the papers, and after that they walked me around to the detention center, or where whatever they will call it, where I was being held. So upon reaching the front door, I saw some other people inside there, and he told me to put my suitcase. There was like a little thing that I stored the suitcase, and he told me to put my suitcase up there, empty my pockets, being that my phone and everything is in my pocket. So I'm like, no, ask him if I can use my phone here. Like, no, I have to leave it. So I'm like, why can't I use my phone? They were talking in Spanish. I could not really understand, but I get the point that they don't want me to use my phone. So after I empty my pockets and put everything inside my bag, it was my carry-on bag. I brought a suitcase, a small suitcase. So I packed everything inside it and put on the little table thing. Then he asked me to go inside, but before that I asked him if I could get a call to inform my family that I am here, because no one knows that I am here. So he said, yes, I'll get the call. I just need to go inside the room. He'll be back. So I proceeded. I go inside the room. And guys, as I enter the room, in there was so cold. Literally, they are tremble, guys. It felt like it was like -0 degrees. It was freezing cold inside, and the materials that the stuff are made of, like the bed frame, the toilet, and the seats, they were all made of stainless steel. And stainless steel material is kind of similar to aluminum. It absorbs the temperature that is around it, so those are going to be really cold. So it's like inside there, all the beds were like, it was like a square. All the beds were in the corner, go right around, and then there's like this empty space in the middle where there was a table and some seats around it. I guess that's where we eat food and all of that. And the bathroom was right around there. So the beds, there were like bunk beds. There was one on top, there was one underneath. I was staying on the one underneath, the lower one. Um, the bed frame was made of stainless steel, coming all the way around. The whole entire frame was made of stainless steel, right? Now let's go to the bed. It was like a sponge that is wrapped in plastic. I have a picture, I have a video, because while I was there I managed to capture a few stuff. So meanwhile I'm talking, I'm gonna show the imagery. So it's like a sponge wrapped in plastic, and that is gonna be very cold based on the surrounding air is like really cold. So everything inside there was really cold, and the toilet, everything, it was stainless steel. Further down in when I was being no further down, I wanted to use the bathroom, but I could not use the bathroom because inside here was cold. It was stainless steel toilet, everything in there was stainless steel, and it's gonna be really cold and all of that. So I did not use the bathroom. I literally took it back to Jamaica the next day. But yeah, the bed was tough. I did not sleep none whatsoever. After I was in there was one of the agent from the airlines, um Arajet. He came there with a piece of documents, and he was asking me. He went to there was a guy right beside me, an Asian guy. He went to him first. I guess he flew with the same airlines, and I was overhearing the conversation, and basically he's there to sign that we're gonna receive food and all of that. So after he's done with that guy, he went over to another guy, and then I heard him call my name. So I held up my hand. I'm like, I'm here. So he came to me. He was like, they don't know how long they're gonna keep me here, and I need food and all of that. So I'm like, I was really upset at the time. I'm like, I don't care about no food. I just need to go home. So he's like, you need to eat something and blah blah. I'm like, no, I don't want no food. Just give me water. So he's like, okay, cool. But it took a long time to really accept that I don't want no food. Which they ended up bringing the food anyways, which I did not eat anything, guys. I was so annoyed, I was upset at the fact that I am being held here in this cold room. Like, the cold was really getting to me, and it was really affecting my decision making, because all I wanted to do was get back home out of this cold place. So I was there for a while, guys, and I'm locked in there. I don't have a phone. I don't have any communication to the outside world. There's no windows. There's only there's only two doors: the bathroom door and the door that we entered to go inside, which they had security outside that door. And there was a clock above my bed. I am not sure if it was working or not. I was just so upset. I didn't even look to see if it was working. But when you're inside there, you can't know if it's day or night. I guess that's why they had the clock. But I did not check the clock, as I said before. So meanwhile, I was there, guys. Like 2 hours later, they brought a blanket. That time I was there freezing my ass off the whole time, because I was thinking that, you know, oh, I'm going to manage through the night in these clothes, because if you know me, I don't like clothes. If you even bought me in the streets anywhere, 90% of the time you'll probably just see me in a tank top, a shorts, and a Crocs or a slippers. That's I just like to dress simple. I don't like a lot of clothes. So I was there in my polo shirt and a short pants along with my Crocs, and it was really cold. I had some long sleeve shirt in my suitcase, and also a long pants. So when I was there, the cold was getting to me, and I'm like, I need to make my family know where I'm at. So I was there drafting up a plan the whole time. How am I going to retrieve my phone? Being that there are securities outside, every now and then you will see a different security, and they will be there at the door talking. So it was like 2 to 3 securities. Then they move along. You will see, like, most of the time I can see one security. He just keep coming back to check every minute on us. So while I was there drafting up the plan, I came up with an idea how to get my phone to get access to my suitcase. So I went outside and I told him that I need to get a sweater from my suitcase and also a long pants. They're like, okay, go and get it. And he was kind of watching me the whole time, but I was like kind of watching him. And I kind of slide my phone into the pants and I rolled it up and stuff like that. I went and then I zipped up back the suitcase. I went into the bathroom, put on the clothes, slide the phone down in my pocket, and then I went back over to my bed. The first thing I did was I went on social media, Instagram to be exact, and I wrote a general post, because I didn't want to waste time trying to talk to one person about the situation, being that I would have told my mom first. I did not try to talk to one person. I just made a public post because I know that she would have seen it anyways, and everyone else that is really close to me would have seen the post. So I made the post real quick, because I already had planned out what I would have typed and say, because I've been in there so long. That's the whole mind thing. I was there a whole length of time just figuring out stuff, what I'm gonna do next as soon as I get my phone. Yeah, so after I made the post on Instagram, I I was trying to take a video, but the security was kind of back and forth, which made it really difficult. So I just took a picture um, of the bed and stuff that we were sleeping on, just so that I can have something to show that this was the condition of whatever, because when I was writing the post and all of that, my battery was dying, and also I did not know if they might catch me with my phone, so hence why I did not um, message one person at a time saying that, oh, I'm stuck in Mexico. I just made a public post, you know. So while I was there, it was kind of getting late, but you couldn't really tell unless you check the clock, you know. They had on this bright light inside the room. Every minute they come, they turn on the light, they turn it off. They turn on the light, turn it off. It was really annoying. But while I was there, I keep sitting down, and I lay down, and I sit down, I lay down back, because inside was really cold, and the blanket that they provide, I am really tall, the blanket is short, so I have to kind of curl up to kind of get everything covered. And It was really uncomfortable, so I keep sitting down, I keep laying back down. When it was getting later, there were 12 other, no, not 12. There were 11 other men inside the where I was, and some of them were making really annoying sounds. Some were singing. There were some boys in there as well, trying to irritate the security by trying to close the door and doing all sort of madness and stuff like that. And there was this one guy especially that was really annoying. He was really getting to my head. He was there singing, and he was singing for a good amount of time. He was there sitting on his bed. He was singing. Then it's like he couldn't bother to sit anymore. He start walking around the room. He start singing all different kind of stuff. Levanto mis manos al cielo y Cristo fuerzas me da. Ya viene la recompensa. It was real annoying. So after a while, I saw that two security came inside and they took out majority of who was in there. I don't quite remember the number of persons that was left inside the room because I was just there doing really business because I was so happy that they took the guy that was singing. So I was trying to, after they took the guy and stuff, and I was there for like another hour trying to sleep. Then late in the night, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock to be exact, in the morning, there was this loud banging sound, almost like construction was going on, which made it really difficult to sleep. Guys, I did not sleep the whole entire time. From I went to Mexico, I did not sleep. I only sleep when I came back in Jamaica, and I reached back Jamaica the next day late in the night. So yeah, I was there, and the sound was really annoying straight back until in the morning now, around 10 o'clock. I was told that we were gonna be on a flight back to Jamaica, but they keep saying Punta Cana. So it's like I'm just going to Punta Cana. I don't have any others details. All I know that is I am going to Punta Cana. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be detained in Punta Cana and sent back to Jamaica the next day, or I am going to Punta Cana on a connecting flight to Jamaica the same day. I don't know nothing whatsoever. I asked him about my check bag. Nobody knows where my check bag is. So alright, now comes a boom now. The guy in Mexico, he was walking us to the plane, but we had to go through some secret doors and stuff like that. They were kind of separating us from the regular passengers that were coming into Mexico. So we were walking through some separate doors and stuff until we reached the plane. Only thing that was given to me was a small white piece of paper about this size, about this wide, this tall, with limited information, just the flight time, my name, flight number, and final destination, which is Punta Cana. So after arriving in Punta Cana, I wasn't given my passport, being that I haven't seen my passport from the time I handed it to the immigration officer. I haven't seen it back ever since. So I was given that paper. I was put on the flight to Punta Cana. I wasn't sure if it was a connecting flight or what, or if I have to book a different flight. I don't know what's happening because it's limited information they gave me on that paper. So alright, cool. The flight was 4 hours back to Punta Cana. So upon arriving in Punta Cana, I did not know what's happening. Everyone is coming off the plane now and stuff like that. So I remember this guy on the plane that was working on the plane. He speak fluent English. So I saw him coming and I stopped him, and I was telling him my situation, and I was asking how I can go about this because they gave me limited information. I don't have my passport. I don't know what's up. So he's saying that I should come off the plane and speak to somebody like immigration officer or somebody outside. He doesn't really know what's going on either. So I did that. I went outside, and to my surprise, there was somebody there kind of filtering out the persons that was put on the flight from Mexico, with the same issue as me being deported. So they pulled us out the line. I remember there was a Chinese guy, the Asian guy, and there were some other people. There was like a family, husband and a wife, and there was a child and a couple of other people. So we had to wait until, because when we come off the plane, we don't go directly inside the airport. There had to be a bus that take us from the plane to the airport. So it's like we have to wait until everybody board the bus before we can go on it. So alright, cool. When we reached at the airport now, there was another girl. She collected us and was walking us to somewhere. I don't know where we're going. I stopped her and I was asking, yo, I haven't seen my check bag since I went to Mexico. Where's my check bag? Where's my passport? She did not have any answer to any of my questions, and made it even worse. She doesn't really speak fluent English, and she was moving as if she was on a rush. So every time I was trying to talk to her, I have to be like walking up to try to catch her to talk to her. So it was really difficult. So I'm like, alright, cool. See where they're gonna take me. So they brought us to this room. I actually made a video because I actually had my phone that time. My phone was dead. I met one of my subscribers on the plane. He had he was there, and we were talking and stuff like that, and I asked him if he had a charger, which he did, and he lent me his charger, and he said I could just whatever. He literally just gave me his charger. So big up to you, bro. If you watch your video right now, big up yourself. You made me able to charge my phone and do some more stuff, check which one my bag there and all of that. So yeah, big up yourself. So yeah, my phone was like dying and stuff. So while I was in the room, I put my phone on charge, and I actually took a video of inside the room. I just did a quick little video to because in my mind I was like, I need to get some clips to really talk about my situation. So I grabbed a little video which I'm gonna show you guys right now. So yeah, while I was in that room, the lady behind this, I was asking her, yo, why are we being held here? Where is my check bag? Where is my passport? She did not have any clear answer as to where none of those were. So being there, I was very frustrated, and I was kind of angry, but I was to escalate things and make things difficult. So I just kind of tried to keep calm, being that my equipment is in there, and there's a history with airport and losing stuff and people stealing stuff. So that was going through my mind the whole time, and I'm like, yo, where's my bag? Where's this? Where's that? So I went on my phone now, and I checked my tracker, and I realized the bag that was in Punta Cana with me. So I'm like, alright, cool. Kind of get a little relief. So I was there for a while. So what I did not know, while I was locked up in that room with those people, the plane, it was actually a connecting flight. The plane was actually outside boarding, and nobody knew where my passport was. Nobody knew that the plane was boarding. All everyone care about is being on their phone or being on the computer, that nobody had an answer. So I did not know that a plane was boarding. I was literally the last person to go on that plane, and here's how it happened. While I was in that room, I was there, I felt like I want to use the bathroom. Well, I wanted to pee this time. So the bathroom was like a minute away. So I left my suitcase in there. There was somebody that was following us to go to the bathroom. So while I was inside the bathroom now, there was this guy, when I finished doing what I was doing, there was this guy that come in the room and call my name. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, come. When I went outside, it was the same girl that I asked earlier about my passport and all of that when we first got into Punta Cana. And she was like in this rush to get me to go to get my suitcase that I had left down back in the room that they held us, and then to rush to go on the plane. And then when I looked in her hand, she had a passport, so I figured it was my passport. So after the back and forth rush and all of that, trying to get on the plane, I was literally the last person to go on that plane. It's like everyone else that was on the plane, they looked so relieved to see that I had boarded the plane, because it's like they were there waiting, and you know, you wait too long, people get fed up and like, we need to go now, you know. So take my seat and everything. Comes a bomb. I do want to check for search for my bag there, but you know, by the time I'm on the plane, lose internet connection. So I'm like, alright, cool. But before, I forgot to miss out a piece of information. Before I went on the plane, I asked her, is my bag on the plane? She said, yes, my bag is on the plane. But it seemed like she said that to just get rid of me, you know. They did the same thing when we lost our bag in St. Vincent. Everyone was telling me that, yeah, it's this and that, just because they didn't want any argument, and we asked multiple persons, and they keep telling us what we wanted to hear. So I didn't realize the pattern, so I'm like, okay, the bag is on the plane. So I boarded the plane, fly to Jamaica. Like, alright, cool, back in my country, I feel better now, I feel relieved. And being that I have my passport, I'm back up on the plane. So alright, come so boom now, I go run a baggage claim. So I just have some storage issue again. I just fix it. Alright, so back to what I was saying. So after I made the claim, file a report at baggage claim, go through airport, everything, my friend Noel came to pick me up. I actually left my van with him, so he came to pick me up, and you know, so went to the no, I didn't went to the airport same time. I was trying to get my bag. I went to the airport like 2 days in a row. No money was there to assist me. I did not know it was so hard to get an assistant from that airline, Arajet. Like, every time I go out there, there's nobody there to assist me. No one whatsoever was there to assist me. So I think the third time that I went out there, I got through to an agent, and I actually took his number and stuff, and he was the one that was like back and forth trying to help me, because everyone else that I had spoke to, they did not really put out any interest whatsoever to really help me retrieve my bag. It was just like, you know, just another story of bag missing or whatever. So the guy from the airline, he was really professional, and actually went there. When I met him, there was actually somebody else that he helped to get their bag. They had to wait like 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm not waiting 2 weeks to get my bag. And the girl was there going through her bag to make sure everything was there, and to her surprise, stuff was missing from her bag, you know. So that evil when I start get more frustrated, you know, because I say, yo, if them people ever take nothing out of my bag and me can't get it back, or airline no want compensate me, it's like a bunch of stuff I go through my head, because I travel with my equipment and I can't get access to my bag. So left the airport now. Next day, I checked my tracker. The bag was in the bag was in Punta Cana before, and then the next day, now I checked the tracker. My bag was in Peru, all the way in Peru. It left from Santo Domingo. No, it left from Punta Cana, but all the way to Peru, down South America. So me really pissed now and thing, and you know, me go online and I try find some means or way to contact the airline and thing, and you know, try contact them on WhatsApp, that now work. So I was back and forth in contact with the same guy until the next day again. Check the tracker. The bag went back to Punta Cana. So I'm like, yo, this is madness. So the last day now, I actually checked the tracker, and I realized that the tracker moved from the location that it was in Punta Cana, just slightly moved, and it seemed like it was where the plane was. So I went on Google Earth and put in the same exact coordinates, and I realized that the bag was the coordinates that I had put in. When I zoomed in, it was right where the plane was. So I was kind of happy now, because I'm like, yeah, they put the bag on the plane. Alright guys, as you can see, it's currently in the night. Literally, I talked to you for so long. The amount of time my phone 7 storage. So hence why I ended up in the night now. We get some light. Hold on, it's too bright. 1 second guys. Too bright. Hold on, too bright still. Alright, that's supposed to push. Yeah. Alright, one of most can't see me. But yeah, it'll come down to the end of the story. But I think the last time I was speaking to you guys, I was saying that I made a wait, where was I? I think I was talking about the bug, that the bug was in Jamaica. So yeah, continuing the story. So upon arriving in Jamaica, the bug arrived in Jamaica. Someone sent me a picture with my bug. You know that thing that it come through upon a machine and it spin go around. Yeah. Somebody took a picture of that and send come give me, because I've been sharing these stories on my Instagram, so people are aware, so yeah, I got the picture, and then when I checked the GPS, it had made a big skip from Punta Cana to Jamaica, so I realized it was there. So when I realized it was kind of late, so I'm like, all right, I'll give it until tomorrow. So I contacted the agent that I was in contact with. I let him know that the bag is here and it is run by custom, because I'm zooming on the tracker and realize I run a custom the bag there. So I say, alright, he must say, yeah man, tomorrow we come in and and we sign off on it and whatever, and I collect it. So I go airport the next day and I go straight to custom, which the agent meet me around there and they assign some documents and stuff. So till me see him take out a key, open a door, and him take out the bag, and then the customs officer, the lady, she was so nice. She asked me, she said she noticed that it said sporting equipment, so she was asking me like what was in it, if spear gun and all of that, and I explained and I told her exactly what was inside of it. But I was not in a rush to tell them that I actually had a permit, because you have to get a permit to travel back to Jamaica with a spear gun. Like if you leave Jamaica with a spear gun, it's fine, but when you're coming back, you're going to need a permit. So I had already got my permit. Being that I've been planning the trip for so long, I made sure I got everything in time so I could get it for the trip. So alright, get my permit. Have my permit. So she was there like explaining, like I just didn't want to see the look on her face, because she thought that I did not have the permit, which I had the permit, but I did not say anything because I wanted to see what she was gonna say. So she was like, oh, you need permit to do this and you need permit to do that. So it's like she was kind of trying to break the news to me, but I just told her that yes, I have a permit, and she was kind of surprised that I had a permit, which she thought that I did not. So I when same time, I did not print it or anything. I went in the Gmail app and I found about the email from the government, and I showed her the email and everything to show that it's legit. And then I pop up the PDF file that the government sent me back to tell me that they approve whatever, and I showed it to her and she's like, oh, okay, cool. Alright, so okay, I move on now. So she asked me to open the bag, which I did, and she just checked to verify the items, and then we closed it back, and then she had me signed off to it, and then the bag was mine, free to go, get back my bag, everything nice. Guys, at first I was so happy. That was the first time I was so happy to ever see what my bag. I actually did another video which I'm gonna show you guys now.
Yeah. Well, she located it. She said for sure it's in Toronto. It was left there.
It's finally here, guys. Yeah. See you later, Rush Point. So yeah, get back my bag, everything alright, but guys, me just still kind of disappointed that I didn't really get to make the trip. I had all good intentions of just going there to film, knowing that I was denied entry. Being that out of all the places, the place that I really wanted to go the most, I had high expectations, but high expectations sometimes turn out to disappointments, which I just have to understand and move forward. But You know, I still have hopes in the future that I will get to go, because despite of what happened, I still really want to go and make that trip. You know, so probably next time I can go better prepared, get the invitation letter, all of that stuff. Yeah, but you can't really blame it for Mexico either, because someone was explaining to me that a lot of Jamaicans are using Mexico as their migration route, along with other, you know, people from different places. So there's been a surge in Jamaica, hence why they tighten securities and stuff like that. But it's just sad that I was one of the good ones, and I, you know, had to suffer for the bad. But yeah, just hoping for better next time, guys. But for right now, it'll come down to the end of the video. I haven't got to do any videos yet in Jamaica. From I've been here, it's just been raining the whole time. Every day it's just rain. The waters are dirty. Being that my adventures are water based, everything is kind of not good right now. So I was kind of forced to do this video, because this is not the format that I had wanted to do the video. I actually wanted to do like a bonfire story time kind of thing on one of my videos that I was planning a camping video, but it did not work out that way. So I just had to just give you the whole sit down car talk, you know. But yeah, so right now I'm just trying to make the necessary contacts to see what positive can come out of this, and you know, make sure next time better and all of that. So right now, guys, I'll close out the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. This video feels like around a 1 hour. I haven't started editing it, but I just know that it's way past like 20 or 30 minutes already, because every minute my phone is just saying, yo, storage. So yeah, so hopefully I'll see you guys soon in another adventure video, and hoping that I don't make another video like this about me being detained in another country. Just hopefully everything works out perfect for another trip. But for right now, I don't think I'm gonna book any more trips for now, because it's Mexico trip was just money wasted. I booked 2 separate flights, which I went on one, and the other one to the final destination. I did not get to board that flight any at all, so that money was just lost, you know, and then I don't think I'm gonna ever be compensated for it. So yeah, and you know, Caribbean expensive to travel to already. So yeah, guys, I almost forgot. Y'all might be wondering what happened to Alex. Well, Alex actually made it to Mexico, and he ended up continuing the trip, but with a different charter, because the charter that we had initially planned with, it was like a group of us, and being that I drop out, it was kind of too expensive for everyone else, you know, because it would have more make sense if everyone come together, because being that these charters cost anywhere from $900 to $1,000 US and above, so we normally split it up. But yeah, he made the trip. He got to spear a marlin. There's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna, like, he sent me the files. I'm just gonna do a little quick thing so you guys can see what Mexico was like for him. Well, he's been going there, so I'm just gonna show you some visuals on what happened in the on the trip that I did not make, and then, you know, I'm just gonna end the video. So see you guys soon. All right.